Yeah. Love is the rare from the planetarium. Goods, K-Town. That's what it is right now, man. The time is now. It's been a long time coming, y'all. We gotta stand up right now, man.
Okay, Planet Earth, Dre on the streets as well. Bruce Willis, Richard Pryor, Bulelani, Khakaza, Mbinga. Yeah, that's why. The production, I think, started to take it serious around about 2003 to really call myself a producer, you know. But I've been following music production since 1997 when I started out like hanging out with like crews from around the block, you know. So from then I developed an interest, you know, to also like make my own beats like one day, you know. Yeah, so 2003, that's when I started taking it serious, like I'm Planet Earth, this is what I'm gonna do, this is gonna be my contribution, you know. Planet Earth, a condo that's complicated because, you know, with like music, or let me talk about hip-hop, you know, abantu, they tend to crack their skulls, you know, to come up with the best AKA, you know, the coolest alias on the streets, you know. But basically with Planet Earth, it starts saying I'm a Virgo, you know, and the element of Virgo is Earth, you know. So I just took Earth from there, and I'm an inhabitant of Planet Earth, you know. So I was like, okay, I'm Earth, but let me just say Planet Earth, you know, to have a first name and the last name, you know, so it could be friendly for the tongue as well. So yeah, that's where Planet Earth comes from. Hey Jenny, same old story, I guess. You know, it hasn't been easy, you know, like there's ups and downs, because even when I started out like to make beats on a serious note, like I didn't own any equipment, you know, like I was using other people's computers, and you know, yeah, that was the first, you know, like struggle, you know, because when you use somebody else's equipment or anything, funeka usebenze nge-time frame yakhe, you know. Not that I'm ungrateful, abantu abandincedileyo, you know, but yeah, like in terms of like the hardship, it's, you know, it's things that you come across, you know, and of course like financially, you know, because I wasn't working at the time, you know. I only had a vision, the inspiration, you know, the creativity, but I didn't have, you know, like it means to finance my own equipment, because one thing at home, if to go study to be something else, ikhona that capital, but when it comes to izinto zomculo, you know, it's considered as, you know, just a hobby. It's something that you can make a living off, like in the future, you know, it's not gonna put bread on the table, you know. So I had to make my own means, maintain the equipment and put it here, you know. So yeah, that's a few things that, you know, from 2003 up until now I've been battling, you know. But if umuntu who's enthusiastic and who has the perseverance in life, you'll get whatever you want. Now right now, I consider myself like as a headsman, like emgolweni, you know. I've paid my dues, you know, like I come from far. I've seen people rise and fall, you know. I've witnessed a lot, I've gained a lot, you know. So right now I'm in a position where I'm just like in between, you know. Anything that my heart wants to do or wants to be involved in, I'm gonna be there, you know. One, noba gospel, noba ngubhaqanga, noba indoni, you know, like hip-hop, like I know it so much now, I need to move on and grow, you know, so that I can be able to teach, because I can't be at this position and just have knowledge genre one and not know, other genres, zomculo, because at the end of the day I'm a sampler as well, so the music that I sample comes like it's different influences. It could be blues, it could be rock, it could be classical, so I think if you are a producer, you must have a vast knowledge of music at large, not just what you do, because what you do, it's music that is influenced by zezinye genres, You sample classical and make it hip hop. You sample jazz and make it hip hop. You sample whatever and make it hip hop. So why not embrace other genres as well that help each genre to be in existence? That hence I have like a lot of vinyl connection right here behind me, and it's still growing, It shows a lot about me and my music knowledge and where I come from and where I am right now. So to answer your question, now I do anything, on request or that I feel at that specific time. Okay, let me take this to the beginning because sometimes otherwise with a half information, so we must start from the tail. The music hip hop, it's music that DJ. It was a DJ who invented hip hop, Cool Herc, from a Bronx. He was doing gigs around the Bronx, a sound system in a sense of like, back jams, but at that time it was just breakdancing, break beats, quick graffiti. Hip hop was not in existence. So the DJ, invented his style, so jugglisha 2 records. I'll figure like a moment in the track, that is called the break beats, like a break on the record, and that break nayo ubone abantu reaction yabo baxa kungena le break or xa ngidlala umculo kungena breaks, people have this kind of reaction towards this break. So now how about I loop le break, type the 2 LPs of the same, this loop xa kungena le break idlale xa izophela ndidlale ku-dead beat, so that's how sampling started, zazingekabikho samplers that time, so DJ Cool Herc would juggle breaks on 2 different vinyls but of the same artist, so that's where sampling comes from. So that was the birth of hip hop beats, and then like he toasting, or emceeing like umuntu othethayo kweza breaks. So now hip hop iyaqala ke bona hlobo, because those break beats njengoba sijugglishwa omnye umuntu waza ne-idea yoba okay mandithethe something apha kule nto, so i-hip hop iqale ngola hlobo i-hip hop, so naba bantu ke badlala i-keyboard, that are decent sampling, because of their little knowledge, of the subculture or the movement, nabo i-melodies zabo are inspired by other melodies, so bona they doing something that's called, they doing covers, uzawuva ingoma ye-pop yakudala pha and then play it on your keyboard. Yonke la melody nayo idlala pha kwi-keyboard, it's influenced by something that you've heard wayistorisha engqondweni. So now when you're sitting in front of this keyboard, you're playing that, even noba uyayitshintsha pha, i-chords, but the idea, it comes from somewhere, it didn't just pop up in your head, So sampling, it's just that you are taking the actual sample from the record, chopping it and doing something, where now you listen to a melody and you play it, So that's the same thing to me, So I don't see the point of abantu that are instrumentalists crushing hip hop, I can understand from the older generation, you know, but I don't understand it from the youth, you know.